Hi, I'm Pamela Eddy. I'm a professor in higher education, and I'm excited to be a faculty fellow in the Center for Innovation in Learning and Design. I'm happy to be with you today to talk a little bit about the project I'm working on with geoscience faculty in community colleges. I do a lot of my research in community colleges and really focus a lot on how do we improve outcomes for students and how do we support learners in those areas. The project is funded by NSF, and it is titled Faculty as Change Agents, Transforming Geoscience Education in Two-Year Colleges. Oftentimes we think of faculty being in the classroom and teaching, but not really focusing on how they may be working for institutional change and how in fact they are acting as leaders within the institution. The grant itself is working with 24 faculty from around the country. They are located in 17 different institutions and 10 regions around the country. The change agents are looking at participating in faculty development themselves and then sharing some of the things that they're learning with others. The grant has 3 specific strands that we're looking at. The first is looking at ways to support student learning and success in the classroom. And the second is looking at broadening participation in the geosciences. And the third is looking at promoting geoscience faculty careers and trying to talk about how do you train students to go into the geosciences. The ways in which we've been working on this is through a series of workshops that the faculty change agents have been participating in. And what we do in those workshops is expose them to other theories and strategies and individuals that have really been working on these are key ways in which we find learners are able to get more information and to acquire higher levels of student learning outcomes. And so it allows them to participate in this faculty development, but also to practice it. So there's a lot of modeling that occurs in the workshops in which they're learning some of these active learning strategy. But that strategy in and of itself can be something they take back and employ in their own classroom. And I like to think of this as the pebble you put in a pond, so that the faculty change agent is able to be that person that has the instigation for sharing some of these. But it moves beyond them as an individual to the individuals that are in these regional workshops, but also to their colleagues that are in their institution. The other aspect that we're looking at is trying to figure out, well, we've spent all this time and energy with working with these change agents, so did something really change? So we've been conducting a lot of data gathering since the beginning of the project, where we'd be looking at interviews with change agents to say, tell us a little bit about how you approach this, how you're thinking about the grant project, and what you have as your own goals. And then we also have been doing observations of faculty in their teaching of different classes to be able to have a benchmark to say, if at the beginning of the project we see faculty engaging in these kind of strategies and at the end we see them doing something different, we can then document there has been some change, but then also come back to say, well, why was this change occurring and how can we use this to promote in others? I think one of the things that happens when you are working as a faculty member doing research is that it can't help but inform your own practice. And so as you're working with these change agents and having conversations, it really is a two-way street in terms of what you're learning and the strategies that you can then in turn employ when you're going to come back to your own classroom. We often operate in silos, and so I think one of the key benefits of the Center for Innovation in Learning Design is the fact that we're going to be able to share practices across the areas within education. So having that opportunity to have your own professional community of practice within this center, I think is going to be really an important way for us to learn as faculty, as researchers, and as learners ourselves.